Oh!
I overslept again.
I got you this time.
Maybe, but only besides I decided to stop and wait for glorious return of Satan.
You say that like you were thinking about waiting for the return of glorious return of Satan. That's mean. A stench of piss. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
Everyone, the new member's here.
I told you, don't call me new member. Call me your. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Like, stench of piss is really looking good today. Or, as one of her usual catchphrases, stench of piss won't stop throwing rocks through my windows, you dumb whore. Ah, stench of piss, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly... sorry. Nothing.
The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Probably because the top of her head looks like an eraser. Her small figure makes me think that she's 8 years old.
You can just ignore her when she gets muted.
Sayori says that quietly into my ear and then quickly spits into my earlobe.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And hey, you smartest in the club.
Don't say anything like that.
Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Which doesn't make sense because she's in a constant state of up because she's so tall.
Oh, well, nice. It's nice to meet, one of you.
And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right?
That's right. It's great to see you again, and to smell you again, a stench of piss.
That's right. It's great to see you again.
We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. I was always looking at her. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, unfeeling. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so gently feels a little... You too, Monica.
Come sit down and stench of piss. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica, but probably next to me. I'll get the cupcakes. Oh, sorry, I get a little too excited.
Then how about I mix up to me as well?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so my fat ass can sit in there. So there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. I will take up both. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room to stand there because my incredible girth is filling up the room at an incredible rate. And there's no longer any room to be in the middle of the room, as I am the middle of the room. They will suffocate and die shortly. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori, and then I slam it into her head 1,000 times. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Oh! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like the movie Cats. Oh no, I hate that movie. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. Allegedly, as far as I know. I've never met this person before in my life. How can I trust them? So cute.
I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki.
Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow.
It's delicious.
Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. Dumb bitch. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet, thank God. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my directions. Is she waiting for me to take a bite?
I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. Oh, this is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. You get to live for now. Always as articulate as ever.
I thought you technically did. Sayori said. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and I dismiss the conversation, just like I dismiss all the other women because I'm a sexist asshole. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? What are you, a fucking nerd? What are you gonna do? Go be a nerd? Gonna go read some birds or something? Gonna put on a big pair of googly glasses and start rubbing your nose or something? Oh, you big freaking nerd? Oh, I bet you like things like... You gonna read books, you stupid nerd?
Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission.
Typical nerd.
After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
Oh my gosh, I guess you really are a nerd.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. You're just trying to impress you. That freaking nerd. That's not.
Insulted, Yuri looks away, as she should. That freaking nerd.
I meant that, you know.
I don't believe... If you told me my parents were real and actually loved me, I wouldn't believe you. And also, I don't believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy making fun of Yuri.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. She just farted. Monika raises an eyebrow. Then she sniffs. Then she smiles at me. Weird.
So what made you consider the literature club?
I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I should tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that just made me think she was really stupid or something.
That's okay, don't be embarrassed. Well, make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my
Wow, Monika, I'm surprised. You talk a lot. How come you decided to start your own club? Was it so you could talk a lot? Because you're talking a lot. You could probably be a board member of any major clubs, and I'm spelling bored, B-O-R-E-D. Haha. Weren't you the leader of the boring club last year?
Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget, but questioning how to prepare for a race. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Like, instead of making children cry, taking a whole group of children, telling them Santa is real, stuffing them in a sack, and then sending them to a meat processing plant. I'm just a Gemini. I'm so quirky.
Monika's a really great leader.
Yuri also nods in forced agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like a YouTube channel. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, which we both know you aren't. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important.
Yeah.
We'll do our best.
Everyone enthusiastically agrees, especially for that fucking pink thing. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal, stealing my soul and using me for satanic rituals. What a nice goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining, though I still don't really know if I could keep up with their level about enthusiasm.
So, a stench of piss, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read in these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. I just enjoy seeing other people suffer. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about being boring. She seems so reserved and timid, and I really wish she would shut up.
But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually amaze me as well. Isn't it amazing how Reddit can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of information and completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level, like my penis. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock, or with something as hard as a rock.
Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Oh, what's that? That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Nexuki? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Fine.
Your cupcakes, your poems, everything that you do is just as cute as you are.
Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders.
Alright, done. Like and share with a friend if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. See ya. Oh yeah, make sure to subscribe. See ya.